How to correct rounded shoulders using chakrasana or wheel pose without being flexible is actually possible for you. Don't worry, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how. I didn't always start there. And let's get started. Hi Angel, I'm Cissy. Welcome to the Nansera Wellness YouTube channel. If you're new here, kindly subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're a regular, I'm so happy to see you again, Angel, sending you vital hugs. Chakrasana or wheel pose is one of my favorite back bends. It really deepens breathing, it makes you feel strong, it builds confidence and self-esteem. But before we get into it, it's very important to warm up. So we use the wrists and we're going to start exactly there. We're going to come onto all four, plant the palms into the mat. And what I want you to do is to take your shoulders over the wrist joints and bring them back. You can do 5 to 10 of these. And then from there, you're going to turn your fingers to face the knees and then again pull back. As you saw at the beginning, we were really relying on our palms so much. So it's important you do that. And don't worry if you've never done wheel pose before, it's okay. I'm well aware of that and I'm going to take care of you, I promise. All right, once we're done with the wrist joints, maybe draw a bit of circles. This reminds me of my handstand journey. If you guys remember, every day we did this. So very good practice. All right, next up, we're going to get into the shoulders because our arms are going to go back and you're wondering, but if my arms can't go back, how do I do that? That's okay. So send your arms up and then I want you to start bobbing them back, trying to send them past the ears. Yes, just like that. And breathe. Try to keep everything else still, the spine, everything in between stays put. Only the arms do the movement here. You'll feel it pushing back in your shoulders a bit. All right, now let's get a bit into the back because that's very important. We're going to be relying on the spine so much. We're going to do cat cow. So on the inhale, you're going to arch the spine, look up, chest goes forward. And on the exhale, you're going to round chin to chest, shoulder blades pulling away. Breathing in, arch, and breathe out. So maybe do 5 to 10 of these just to warm up the spine, and then maybe spinal rotations to one direction and to the other direction. Awesome. Now let's get into wheel pose. Are you feeling warmed up? Because I do. Okay, I'm going to take it step by step. And if you feel like you're not yet there in any of the steps, that's okay. I'll show you the modifications. We'll be using the wall and block, so stay tuned. It's really going to be fun. All right, come to lying on your spine. Feet are hip distance apart. Make sure you can graze for your heels. Try to bring them as close as comfortable towards your glutes. And most importantly, they should be in a straight line parallel to the knees. And then palms up. Then you're going to bring your palms right next to your shoulders, fingers facing the shoulders. And again, it's important that you don't open out the elbows outward. Try to draw them towards each other so they are basically shoulder distance apart, yeah? So pushing your palms into the mat, you should feel all 10 knuckles. Maybe bring the fingertips to almost dig into the mat. You're going to lift your legs up, your glutes as well. And then when you're lifting, I want you to squeeze into those glutes. This is very important to protect the lower back. And now from here, see if you can come onto the crown of your head. You can stay here for a bit, squeezing the glutes, getting used. And when you're ready, maybe lift up, keep the elbows bent. And when you feel ready, you can lengthen the elbows, yeah? Keep squeezing the glutes. Now to make this beneficial to the rounded shoulders, I want you to try and lengthen your knees. Push forward into your shoulders. Yeah, you'll feel it targeting the shoulders. Yeah? Very nice. And when you're coming out, I want you to bring the chin to the chest first. Draw knees towards each other and slowly start lowering all the way down. Ooh, very nice. Okay, if you felt like I was leaving you out, now you have my full attention. Let's try to use the props. First, we're going to use the blocks. The blocks are going to act as extension of our hands, yeah? So we place the blocks shoulder distance apart, like that. This is for especially if you were unable to place your palms into the ground, like if that was so far for you. Instead, what you're going to do, you're going to bring your shoulders right next to the blocks. And then see if you're able to place your palms onto the blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or something as sturdy as the blocks, yeah? And then from here, you're going to do the same thing. Lift up. Very nice. And once again, you're going to push your shoulders. You're going to push the weight from your legs and into your hands. Yes. And breathe here. And then coming out, same thing, chin to chest, slowly lower all the way down. Very nice. If you're not yet there to that point, that's okay. Now you have my full attention, find a wall. Okay. The wall is your best friend. Anytime you're doing a yoga pose and you feel like, oh, I'm not yet there, always try to find a wall. All right, so we're going to place one hand onto the wall, so that we are basically like at a 90-degree angle or so, yeah? Now we know our distance from the wall. We're going to separate our feet slightly wider than the hips. Engage the glutes, suck the kneecaps in. Now you know you're steady. Chances of falling are really limited. Send your arms overhead and breathe all the way. You don't stop breathing. And find the wall. And now from here, you can stay here or slowly start moving your hands down. And breathe. Bend the elbows, move the arms lower, lengthen, and breathe. Bend the elbows even more, and hands go lower, lengthen, and breathe. And slowly move your arms all the way back up. Bring them to a prayer, and then from here, we're going to go all the way down. Breathe. And when you're ready, let's go again. This time we're going to try to go all the way down to the bottom so that we can target the upper back. So it's really important that you go to your body's extent and be patient with yourself. Slowly by slowly, you'll be able to go all the way down. The spine might need some time, but even though you don't feel it like it's targeting your shoulders, right when you're doing it, you're doing something for your shoulders. Every day that you show up, you're doing something for your shoulders. We're going to open our feet out wide, engage the glutes, send the arms overhead, breathe all the way, and reach for the wall and start pushing. Bend the elbows, lower the arms, lengthen the elbows and push. Bend elbows, lower arms. Wherever you feel like is enough for you, you can stop there. But if you want, you can even bend the knees with the wall, walk the arms all the way down, and lengthen the elbows. If this is comfortable, then you can start moving your feet closer so that you push your chest against the wall. And breathe here. Oh, I feel it in my shoulders and in my back, so good. And then when it's time to come out, the same way, taking your time, slowly, all the way up, breathing, and then all the way down for a counter stretch. And that is how you can correct your rounded shoulders using chakrasana or wheel pose without being flexible. I hope you enjoyed this. If you indeed did, give it a thumbs up, say something in the comments, and let me know what other tutorial would you like to see. I'm always happy to share. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.